You know what I just said that I just realized? So, ladies and gentlemen, in our pre-show chat, which is wide-ranging, let's say, I think that's safe to say.
You think the podcast has a lot of rabbit holes?
Oh my gosh, yeah, exactly. But I was just saying, let's talk about X. It'll be interesting. And I'm going, wait a second, I'm talking about PoddiMouths. It's not going to be interesting.
It's not going to be interesting. I don't know what you're talking about.
What's wrong with me?
Do you know what's really the most interesting thing? Look at my picture. For the longest time, my background wasn't blurred, and that was always a frustration for me because the Riverside wouldn't do that inside of its system, which most video systems have that, but now it's blurred. Look at that, nice and blurry.
Oh, look at mine. It's also not blurred because I don't want it blurred.
Your face is blurry, but that's a whole different story.
Say, can
you can still see my stuff. It's just a little bit. It's called portrait mode.
Yeah, but I can't tell what's on your. I can't tell what's on your video poker game back there.
That's okay. You don't need to. It's not video.
No, I really should know.
I
want to know
if I'm losing, I lose a lot.
Losing, yes.
Yeah. And you've got the nice glow on my face, and it's all because there's a new update to the Mac. And
Is that the filter?
That's the filter, yeah, because now I can do it on the Mac rather than relying on the software to do it.
I have a filter on mine too. It's called the Geezer filter. It makes me look older.
And it works really well. It's probably the best filter I've ever seen.
It's very cool, yes. And I am truly much younger than I look.
The best part is I also have.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's right, baby.
This is what Apple spends their time on.
That's right. That is right.
Yeah, that's
it's a party.
Great.
It's a party in here.
It's not a party.
I'm going to go laser disc. There we go. Yeah.
It's very close to that. A laser dick, I think, would be the correct pronunciation.
That's more accurate. I appreciate that you caught on and made sure that I was saying the right thing at the right time.
Does that make you really happy? Maybe you could show me the heart. Couldn't you give me the heart?
I give you the thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
I can do the heart. Let's see. It's hard with the microphone in front of me.
Well, yeah, it is.
There we go.
You're doing a pumpkin. Yeah.
It is pumpkin spice season.
PSL.
Yep. PSL, baby.
Pumpkin spice latte.
That's right.
Gag.
That's right.
Speaking
now I forgot
pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, go ahead and speak of them. Oh, well, I want it to rain outside now.
Oh, good God.
Or rain inside.
I think you had to check thunder to see what made it, right?
Yeah, I did. I have to.
What? Yeah. What is my gesture that makes it rain?
We got balloons.
Yeah.
Make it rain, baby. That's right. Except rain in the balloons. Wow. Okay, that was all of them, folks. I won't.
No, it looks really. I can hardly wait to see that one. It's high resolution.
Before you go on with your story, I found out about this by accident. I was on a video call earlier today, where this is the evening of a work day that we're doing this, awesome. And I was talking to somebody, and I was putting up air quotes, and I just happened to have my fingers, and he's like, "What is that? Why is there confetti?"
Gosh, that's
I'm like,
awesome.
I don't know. Yeah, because I just updated my computer last night to Sonoma. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. When they start naming them after valleys and
that's
wine.
All they usually do some sort of California something. I mean, we've had what's the island? Just left my head.
Come on. It's
I don't remember, but they do things like High Sierra was one of them.
How do we not know the island?
Catalina Island.
Thank you. Our listeners they had one that was when we do that.
Oh yeah, all of them. Candace was screaming, and
I know
Bill was screaming. I mean, they were all screaming. Everyone's screaming, but that's usually commonplace for our podcast.
Well, no, it's usually at least 10 minutes in before we have them screaming.
Yeah.
At least.
You know what? I've the last episode we got. We had a lot of fun, and a couple things I want to mention from the last episode.
Yeah, we did. Here, let me show you the new one I had installed.
I really wish I haven't tried that one. Let's see if it works.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything. Anyway, a couple of updates from the last episode. I just felt like I needed to add. One, I don't know if anyone noticed, but I didn't write down any of the names that we normally would during the episode. And that's because the system now gives me ideas for the name.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so that was pretty cool. So that came up with the name. And the second thing was I have to apologize to my good friend TJ because I made fun of him. I made fun of him. Well, not of him directly. I made fun of the fact that he was the first listener and that he probably doesn't listen anymore. And
you paid
promptly
the price,
got a message.
Good.
Yeah, I got a message saying,
"Nice, TJ.
I listened to all of them. So TJ, I'm sorry. Yes."
We need to give TJ some big props for that because it's good for you to be called out sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. I encourage people to call me out. I'm surprised I haven't been called out more often.
Yay,
with
TJ,
that, I kind of had a thought in the back of my mind when I was saying it that, you know what, TJ, because the reason I say that is I actually look at the analytics to see where people are listening from. And I hadn't seen anyone from Australia since the first episode.
Well,
and that's where TJ lives.
We have quite a following in Indonesia, I'll tell you that.
We do, and it's probably TJ because
he goes to Indonesia?
No, he was using a VPN. And that was his comment to me is,
smart.
Next time I will use Brazil as my VPN location so you can now have a listener base in Brazil.
Well, and I think we've been talking for a long time about getting a Brazilian.
Yes, we have. Ouch.
Sorry. I think it's a manzillion.
A manzillion. Yeah. It just makes me think of Bad Moms Christmas. Bad Moms Christmas. I love that movie. It's fantastic.
I've told the story more than once about how I heard it when I was getting my back waxed some time ago. And I could use it again probably if anyone was keeping score at home. But there was a dude down the hall who was getting a manzillion, and we could hear him clearly.
Oh, no.
My tech was laughing. You could, as she's putting the wax on my back, I felt her jiggling, and I'm going, what? She said, listen to the guy down the hall. He's getting a manzillion, and it's like,
wow.
The high-pitched screaming, and he deserved
Kelly
every
Clarkson.
bit of that pain. Oh, it was way worse than that.
I bet.
Oh my goodness, yeah. But
true, I heard, and I don't know if it's true. I would assume that it is. But when Steve Carell was doing the scene, they were actually doing the waxing.
I heard the same thing, and you can, when you watch it, once you have that knowledge, watch the other actors because they're just dying.
I would be too. I don't think I would have been able to hold it together.
Well, you got to do it in one take, number one. It's not going to work to put in, I would think anyway, in filler hair.
Fake, you don't get the same reaction whatsoever.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm sure he knew what he was going to say to Kelly Clarkson. And
I can see
the other things. But oh my gosh, it was hilarious. And then one of my favorite lines of that movie was when 40-year-old virgin, by the way, was when he was going home and he was bleeding through his shirt.
Yeah. Because that happens too.
I guess just before that, when they started, they obviously did it in a certain pattern. And was it Judd? What's his name? Said it looks like a manzillion, or it looks like a mano lantern.
Mano lantern.
You look like a mano lantern.
Oh, that awesome. Guy is so funny.
Took me a while to get to.
All of them are so funny.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember which podcast I was listening to. It was probably Rogan because it's really the only one I've listened to lately. But he was saying, rightly so, that you really can't make those type of movies anymore.
Why?
And that's really disappointing because of wokeness. And I'm not going to go down that wokeness rabbit hole, but there definitely are some things that are just like, why are we making it hard for ourselves? Because there is always room for humor, and
you would think, but you know what? Look, ask some of the comedians, some of the heavy-duty comedians. They have found the same thing. Everybody from obviously Dave Chappelle, I guess, is probably the most well-known, but many others too that have just complained that nobody has a sense of humor anymore.
Yeah, I do. You can make jokes about me all day long. I'm good.
We mostly do behind your back, so I don't think that's
why
really
do it behind my back? Why not do it in front of me?
Because it's no challenge then to hide it from you.
Well, it doesn't have to be a challenge to hide. It just has to be a challenge to see if you can make me laugh. That should be the goal always, is to make me laugh.
Almost impossible to make you laugh.
You're
a tough
I'm
nut
sorry.
to crack.
Normally, there's a lot of nuts to crack, and that ain't one of them.
So, speaking of pumpkin spice latte, did you watch the Republican convention last night?
Before we get on to that, actually, it actually aligns with both.
It's a terrible
do you know
segue,
what the cheapest meat to buy from venison or from a deer is?
Cheapest meat? Don't answer quickly, because I want to.
Okay.
The cheapest meat to buy from it takes a special place to sell venison, because they don't usually sell it at most of the standard places. In fact, some
it's usually a little bit
more
expensive, right?
Well, I guess that's the question. Is it after it's so if you shoot the deer and then they process it, are you talking about then, or are you talking about if they sell it someplace?
Just in general.
What's the cheapest? I would say probably organ meat.
You're close.
Close to the organs?
Yeah, it's venison testicles, because they're under $1.
Wow. Was that? Is that the same? Wow. You tried to hold on, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah, it didn't work that well.
Oh, you thought it was hilarious. You did.
Yeah,
I could
heard
see
it
you
before, but
I'm sure you have, which surprised me that you couldn't come up with that.
Why would I? I thought you were going someplace, because you never tell jokes, because you're terrible at jokes.
I really am, and this is proof.
Well, now that made me laugh. Okay,
John, I can just turn on my camera and you're going to laugh.
No, I am pretty easy, but I didn't see the hat closely. What's your hat today?
Nashville Sounds.
Nashville. Oh, the Sounds. Okay, cool. You've become quite a.
No, I
poster.
I got a lot of shit for the other hat that I bought, because my wife kept saying, my beautiful wife Jennifer kept saying that it looked like crap on me. So when we went to the last game, I bought a new hat, and I let her pick it this time. So
good idea.
Always a good idea. Always a good idea, folks. If you could learn anything from this podcast, listen to your wife.
And you'd have to stretch to learn anything from this podcast. Let's be clear.
You really would. I saw another meme, which is I got that the venison testicle joke from a meme.
Great.
On Instagram, not a sponsor. So this other one that I saw was, I'm going to have to read it, because I don't think I can do it justice. And obviously, John has a problem with my joke telling.
I do not. It's wonderful. We all are delighted. Seriously.
Sure.
Nick's going to tell a funny. So hang on, everybody.
Sure.
I bet our listeners and viewers are doing exactly that. Shh. Nick's going to tell a joke.
Here we
Hold
go.
on.
Well, it's a meme. It's where I'm reading memes, so it's not my
like a joke.
It's someone else's.
People aren't going to say, Nick's going to read a meme. Okay, go ahead.
It's a meme. When a kid says, "Daddy, I want mommy," that's a kid version of "I'd like to speak with your supervisor."
Okay, I like that.
That was a good one.
That's good.
That's a good one.
I like to speak with your supervisor.
Next week has been so exhausting.
Next week has been exhausting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like that
something
one too.
Behind that. That's really good. Yeah. Next week is killing.
Anyway, speaking of next week being exhausting, let's talk about the Republican.
Yes.
I wouldn't even really call it a debate, because no one was debating anything.
The good part about it was I didn't watch it. I didn't watch the first one.
That's what they were saying too, the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were saying, if we can't have Trump here, we might as well not have John here either.
That's what Trump said too. He called me and said that stay home. That's my Trump impression. Very good.
Yeah.
Have you seen the guy, heard the guy? He does the best Trump impression. And Sean something is his name. And dude,
I probably have, but I don't.
He's incredible. A guy from New Jersey. He's got a kind of a scrawny beard and not a really big guy or anything, but man, he's spot on for his Trump impression. Yeah.
You'll have to send me a video.
On. I could probably do that. I'll send it to all of you.
That
if you want it, you just let us know.
You could post it on Instagram. Oh, wait.
No, you can, though. I've gotten so tired of Instagram. Oh, wait. No, I haven't, because I'm not on it.
You're not on it.
Anymore. Or Facebook.
Hey,
but
there's nothing wrong with
I go to the dumpster fire once every day or two.
It really is that. It really is that.
Kind of is. It kind of is. But that's all right.
Social media. I'm sorry, folks. All social media really is.
It's what you do with it, I guess. I'm on YouTube all the time, but other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, I am on Instagram all the time, but I literally am looking for memes. That's where I get most of my memes.
Yes, and you send most of them to. And this is good.
Do.
You like that I'm not on Instagram because you have somebody to send the memes to.
Yeah, exactly.
John's going to love this because he's not on Instagram.
Yep. Well, I do send it to poor Matt and AJ. They both get a lot. Matt, AJ, and my wife get a lot of the memes as well.
Well, it's awesome. That's a good group to be in the middle of.
I agree. And the venison testicle one, the only person I sent that one to is AJ.
Yeah, he does.
He would appreciate
testicles
that.
And venison.
That's what I hear.
Same.
Yeah, both of them.
So the convention, the debate,
speaking of testicles,
quote, unquote, you did watch.
I did watch
the whole thing.
Yes. Yeah. I missed maybe 5 minutes.
Were you?
No, not at all. I fell right to sleep during the.
Yes.
But Jen was in the room with me, and she kept getting so frustrated because all they did was talk over each other. And you made a great point before we got on here. Every single one of them, the entire time, the only thing they were trying to do, with the exception of Chris Christie, and he did a couple of times, but the only thing they were trying to do was to make sound bites. That's become
the debate.
Yeah,
that's the debate stage these days. No,
it was.
You look at some of the Trump and Hillary Clinton ones, and when they were like back and forth, man, those were some entertaining debates.
Yeah.
But I think these days it's all soundbite. You're right.
The best part of the entire event was when they brought in Ronald Reagan clips, because it was at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in City Valley.
Yeah.
And
which is quite an impressive place from what I understand.
I mean, what I saw of it was gorgeous. They actually had his airplane sitting above the stage. So the front wheel was on a pillar above the stage. It was really cool.
Kidding. Wow.
Best part though. And the best part was hearing some of the quotes that he made. And that was a lot of what the commentators were talking about too after the fact was why wasn't there more Ronald Reagan quotes on the stage, because that would probably make some of them actually win.
Oh, wow. Win the debate. Yeah.
Win.
My favorite. Oh, geez. Nice. What is he doing with the, all right. Yeah. That's great. My favorite Reagan quote from debates is when he was with Walter Mondale. Yes. He was talking about the age thing.
Don't let my age or my...
I'm not going to let the inexperience of my opponent.
His youth and inexperience.
Yes,
they mentioned that one. That
should not be an issue. That was one of the best ever.
And that's what the commentators were talking about. They said that was what won him the debate and the election, because when he said that, he even got Mondale to break down.
Oh, for sure.
Because it was a hilarious move.
Because it's funny, exactly. And it's not one, I'm sure he planned it, or had it, in his mind that he was going to deliver something like that. But it was terrific. And
of course, he was, no matter what, he was good off the cuff.
Well, I was just going to say, not only good off the cuff, but just presentation-wise, he's an actor. So, I mean, not only could he read the prompter beautifully, but he was just very believable. And, in hindsight, I tended to believe him because he's just believable like that. So was it all crap?
None of them. No,
it wasn't.
None of them are going to be perfect. Not one of them. There isn't one perfect president. That's
good luck. You might as well. Exactly. You might as well just vote for somebody else.
A shoebox.
I would never say don't vote, because that's a cop out.
Right.
But
but
I would say, do your homework if you can. I don't know.
Vote for Mickey Mouse.
Trump has such a wide margin according to the polls, which I'm not sure I believe anything anymore. They've been so wrong so many times.
Oh, I know.
But he has such a wide margin for him to not be there this whole thing is just kind of
and again,
who's running for cabinet positions or running for VP.
You just said to our entire audience that you didn't listen.
Yeah.
And you're saying pretty much everything that the commentators were saying about the debate.
They asked me to be the commentator. I said,
Oh, you turned it down. Okay. That makes more sense. I'm glad we cleared that up.
Oh yeah, we did all the prep work, just as if I would be there, but
I'm sure
I passed.
Sure.
I passed. I had to
re-primer
the Jeep.
Yeah, it's a long flight for you to fly from Florida to Simi Valley. So,
boy, are my arms tired.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Try the veal. I'm looking forward though to the Democratic debates. I think those will be a lot of fun.
I don't know how much. I don't know what they're going to do.
They're not going to do any of them.
But they might. I don't know. You're saying that, but
I think
they need to.
They do. The public is going to force it, and I hope they do. I hope we all do because something needs to happen. I didn't get to watch it because they kept dragging on, and they started interviewing every single. I'm going to call them contestants. Every single contestant to see which one they were going to vote off the island.
You're right.
Speaking of, there was one question. It said, write on a piece of paper who you would vote off the island right now. And not one of them did it, except for Chris Christie. He started writing something, and then everyone's like, we're not going to do that. That's unprofessional. And Chris Christie's like,
What? I was just writing a phone number. What?
I wrote Trump. I wrote Trump. I mean, he was quick. He was quick with the comeback, but it was interesting. But anyway, Gavin Newsom was supposed to, I couldn't quite understand if it was an interview with Gavin Newsom
or if retort or something like that,
or if he was actually going to debate your governor.
Gosh.
Because a couple of times they made mention that they were going to debate DeSantis was going to debate him, and I just didn't stick around to watch. But it would have been really interesting because I think if Biden decides, and this is what everyone says, if Biden decides not to run, Gavin Newsom is going to be the front runner.
If and I'm going to just, we try not to be overly political, but I think everybody knows kind of where we stand. And it's not this is not, for us to say we're definitely right. It's just having if you can take all things in and say, this is what I believe based on what I've seen or what I study or whatever. That's one thing. Just to say, I drink the Kool-Aid and I believe it because they say it on Fox or on MSNBC or wherever, Breitbart or wherever you get your news.
Right.
That's problematic because you work in an echo chamber. You start to hide all the people you don't agree with. This is where social media can be problematic.
Yes.
And you just attach just to people that say the same stuff over and over, and you suddenly start believing it like that's the only possible truth. And there's just one truth, just so we're clear. There aren't multiple layers of truth. So
agreed. And Ramaswamy, to his credit, Ramaswamy actually said that on the stage. He had said, I don't dislike anyone on this stage, and I'm not summarizing. I'm what's the word when you my words. I have been struggling with words today.
Boy,
it's
not just
it has
today.
Been a day. I struggle with words in general, but I have really had a bad day.
I never used to.
So I'm basically summarizing what he said. But he said, I respect everyone on the stage. I don't discredit anyone for anything that they've done, but I do think that our political system is broken right now. And what I mean by that basically is we are too polarized and we are too quick to judge, and we don't ask questions, and we don't debate anything. Basically, I'm butchering all of it, but he actually stopped it and said it. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I relate to that. I think that was a great statement. It doesn't mean that in my mind that he won or that he did a great job.
No, and that's really the key part, Nick, is that you don't, just because somebody has a good soundbite or says something, it doesn't mean I'm going to vote for him.
Right,
or
exactly.
You said that you thought Chris Christie did very well.
And no one agrees. Everyone thought he did a horrible job, and
I'm
comparing him to the last one.
Yeah, well, yeah, because they booed everything he said last time.
Yeah, and this time a lot of people cheered for what he had to say. But yeah, and I don't mean that he said anything that was groundbreaking or said anything that I necessarily agreed with, but he was a lot more measured in his statements.
That's
and
something
he was
a little
lot
different
more
from
professional.
Usual
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I disagree with the fact they said that DeSantis and I forgot her name already, Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley, yeah.
The commentators were saying that they were the clear front runners and the winners in the whole thing, and I'm like, I don't agree. I don't think anyone stood out. I don't think anyone actually won the debate.
None of it really matters either.
No,
that's the other part, until Trump gets in there, if he's going to, and why would he with a 60-point lead or whatever the heck he has today? It's incredible.
Yeah.
But they're not, they're not going to stop going after him because they cannot let him win.
Right.
And they will do anything.
And that was another
sure he doesn't win.
comment that was made by one of the commentators. And I actually think it was Kellyanne Conway, that they need to start, and the group of people on the stage need to start figuring out when they're going to bow out. Because what they need to do is take the collective power and figure out who's going to be the best to represent them. Because without that collective power, there's no one going to be able to beat or get anywhere near beating Trump. And if that's their goal, and if they want to compete, they're going to have to do that. And I don't disagree with that either. I think just like with the Democratic side of things, if I really think if they don't want Trump in the White House, this is my personal belief, if they do not want Trump in the White House, Biden can't run again.
No, you can't. And anybody who thinks otherwise isn't paying attention. Honestly, Biden cannot put two sentences together on his own. And of course, I stumbled there.
There's a Freudian slip.
You pony boy, or whatever the hell he says. He just can't. And him in a debate. The last one he did, it was not good. And he's got notes written on cards, and he could not debate. He's not capable of doing it. It's as simple as that. So someone, his wife, or some of the people behind the scenes, let's just put it that way, are going to have to pull the plug on him because he is incapable of saying, yes, I'll do another 4 years because I'm not sure he'll finish this term. I'm not sure he'll finish this term. I really am.
I watch him walk around and I'm worried about him.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. The guy does not have a good track record, let's just say. He has been reticent to tell the truth in many cases. If you don't believe me, look at the videos. Oh my gosh. From, where he finished in his college years and how all of he said so many things that are just fabrication. You don't know what to believe. That's fine. But when he's losing it mentally, which he is now, that's a problem.
Well, and it's not an easy job.
If you elect somebody that lies, that's on you.
Yeah.
If the only person you can bring, though, to the party is someone who has mental incapacitation, that's a problem. That is a bigger picture.
It's also the job too, because he's old. We recognize that. But look at someone like President Obama. When he entered office, take a picture of him when he entered office.
No question.
And then look at his picture 4 years later, and then look at his picture 8 years. That is a stressful job. So
Bill
even
Clinton
if he went in,
George Bush,
yeah. And I hope Bill Clinton's okay because he's in the hospital right now.
Oh, is he really?
He is, and
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he. So anyway, back to Biden though.
Yeah,
I mean that's such a stressful job for him to go in with something that's obvious, but then having the stress of that job added to it, that's just exacerbating it. It's going to make it move faster. And if he wants to have any sort of life left where he can enjoy his family, he's not going to be able to do the job. Well, he really isn't.
You have to say somebody is not carrying their weight to say you need to, so Dr. Jill or whomever needs to pull it back because that's just some scary stuff.
But then again, I mean, absolutely, if the Democrats want to win and not let the Republicans win, Biden has got to go. Everyone's saying that. That is my opinion, but that is coming from what everyone else is saying. All of the people that are much smarter than I am, which there are a lot of people that are much smarter than I am. The other guy on this podcast is definitely.
There's another one? How the hell many people do we have on this podcast?
No, I'm not talking about the listener. I mean, all the listeners are smarter than both of us put together. Anyway, all of that to say, the Republicans should be encouraging him to run, because that's how they're going to win.
Yeah, I question the 81 million votes. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
So, moving on.
That's too political for me, so let's back off, buddy.
I didn't see the Bill Clinton stuff. Stop it. I didn't see the Bill Clinton stuff. What's he in the hospital for? There's nothing on Fox News.
Bacterial infection. Let me see.
Oh, I would assume it. Are you sure it's not like an STD or something?
No, absolutely not.
I'm sorry, Bill. I'm just kidding. Come on, Bill. Take a joke.
Health. All right.
I saw something about he had a commentary. Oh, CNN.
Oh, wait, that was 2021. Maybe. Why did it come?
Oh, he was in the hospital in 2021. That's
it was a social media thing. Actually, you know what it was? It was your favorite dumpster fire X.
Oh.
I had something pop up on X, and I thought it was. I should have looked at the source. I thought I looked at the source, because I have only sources that I know on there. I don't have, Babylon Bee. I don't even have that on X. And so when it popped up,
I love them, but I know that it's all satire. So Babylon Bee, I'm just ready to laugh. However, it's interesting. Once I read the Babylon Bee headlines, and then I go to a real news source, I'm kind of going, oh, yeah. Oh, wait, this one's true.
Yeah.
And so, I have a little trouble with that sometimes.
Yeah, I know it's really bad. Yeah, he's not. Never mind. Folks, forget that I said
Bill
that.
Clinton's
he is
fine.
not. He's fine.
Yeah, he's not in the hospital.
I don't know. I'm going to have to look up that story and
he's
figure
not in
out
the
why.
Hospital with gonorrhea, like Nick said.
No, it was a bacterial infection, and that was back in 2021. I think because it was happening during the
COVID.
COVID. It was it was back during the debates. So I'm thinking that someone was just trying to get people away from the debates.
Interesting.
Yeah, maybe it's a conspiracy.
There is your social media.
It's a conspiracy.
Bite us in the butt. And it's raining in the conspiracy room. How long does it last when you do that? If you keep your thumbs down like that, will it rain for an hour?
No, I think it shuts off.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
After you get like an inch of rain?
Yeah. Yeah, it shuts off.
Because if you want to see real rain, I got it out here.
Oh, mine was about 10 minutes before we got on the call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're supposed to have just this horrendous, and it's funny looking at the weather forecast.
Yeah.
They are so far off down here in Florida, Southwest Florida. They are so far off, and they can't. And look, I get it. It's tough. I mean, I don't know how you predict if it's going to rain. Here pops up a thunderstorm, and 5 miles away, it is not even raining.
Well, you can't. So I will say two things. One, weather people are the only people on earth paid to be wrong. That's my favorite statement.
It's not
the other part of that is they are actually very good, and they can tell you which neighborhood is going to get what when, and they can be that accurate. But they can't do that when they're reporting on air, because they reach so far that they have to generalize everything. So we live, I think I've mentioned it before, we call our little area the Bellevue bubble, because when they say, oh, it's a 90% chance of rain, you can watch on the radar and literally see the storm goes around us.
Yeah.
Because of, I don't know if it's because we live with these hills around us or what, but it is the Bellevue bubble. So when it's 90%, it could really, in fact, be 10% for us.
Yeah, it's. I would disagree with you that they know what neighborhoods it's going to go to. They will call it scattered thunderstorms, which they know they're going to pop up. At the beginning of the day, at least down here, they don't know exactly where they're going to pop up, but they're going to.
I think it depends. You make a good point. I think it depends on the type of weather.
And the geography too, where you are, it's different in Nashville, for example, because of the topography than it is here. Right. And here, of course, you have the Gulf, and that modifies everything. And weather comes, unlike there, with very few exceptions, weather pretty much comes west to east over most of the country.
Yep, that's
not here. Holy crap. We get it from
comes
the
up
south.
From the south.
It's come from the east sometimes, and you just go.
And you've got two more. You see what
balloons.
I did there? We do have you have two more hurricanes headed your way too.
Well, no,
I don't know if they'll
hurricanes.
Turn into. Well, they're tropical depressions right now, but I call them hurricanes because they're named.
Tropical depression.
One of them is named.
As you will learn, tropical depression is just something when it's too darn rainy out. You get tropical depression down here in Florida.
I understand.
Just kidding.
I understand.
No, there's one coming over the Bahamas, or heading that direction right now. It is named. It's a tropical storm. Then, if it's named, and but it's not expected to develop because wind shear and because of the directional winds that are trying to push it in a different direction. But the wind shear is really a big thing, and it's been pretty heavy this year. So even the ones that come over the Gulf have not really been developing much.
Were you and I talking, and was it on the podcast? I don't know.
Yes.
Were we talking about Ryan Hall, y'all?
We probably were, because I'm a big fan.
I am too. I love Ryan Hall, y'all.
Yep.
He's cool. He's fairly accurate with a lot of his.
He is, and oh man, when the hurricanes were in the area, and a year ago today, by the way, as we're recording, a year ago today was Hurricane Ian that hit Southwest Florida, and so
Did I tell you my neighbor a year ago? His name was Ian, and I made so much fun of him. Go on, I apologize.
One of the guys who built our house, his name is Ian, and he's. He's stormy. Different,
but not
good
guy. Daniels. His last name is not Daniels, right?
No, it is not. No. So anyway, but that's that. So that's one anniversary. But when that happened, I was following Ryan Hall, y'all, and this guy was on it, and he had people, out everywhere around us, which is kind of cool to see as well, showing stuff on the screen that is. I know that place, or I know that sign.
That's
or
awesome.
Whatever.
That's fun.
It was kind of cool, but he gave great insight and so on. So we always listen to him, especially for stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you guys can find Ryan Hall, y'all, on YouTube. He does stream live during major storms.
One other thing about him, if I can just add to it, Nick, is that
you just completely ruined my sign off.
Yeah,
that's okay.
It's a good thing I don't have the rain thing, because I would be making rain on your parade. He also gives back to these areas that have storm damage and so on. He gave like $1 million, and again, not all his, but did fundraising but he himself went down and delivered water to a lot of the areas here in Southwest Florida after Ian came through. So just a class act, and he's done that with tornado victims and so on. So
he does a lot of that stuff,
and that's the reason why.
Yep. And if you want to head up to his YouTube page, there's actually a thing where you can buy a thermometer for the winter. It's actually a snowmometer. So if you live in the areas where there's snow, you can actually buy one of these, and all the proceeds go to that fund that helps in emergencies. So it's a really neat thing. Anywho, awesome. Speaking of YouTube, you head up there to see all of our past episodes. Well, if you're not listening to this there already, and then if you are, like and subscribe.
Please do.
Gotta say that. Yeah. Smash that like button. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you know whenever a new episode drops.
And comment too, because the YouTube algorithm really loves it when you comment and like the videos.
Yeah, I wonder who actually started that whole spiel, because it sounds the same for everybody. And I don't think, YouTube doesn't say you should say that, so who knows? Someone's smarter than us, which isn't hard.
I'm really surprised by that.
Yes, I don't have an ego like yours, so.
Thank goodness.
Folks, head up to PoddiMouths.com, check out our merch store, check out all of our past episodes, and links out to all of the places you can listen to podcasts if you're not watching on YouTube or Spotify, because you can watch there as well. I hope you have a great week. It's been fun as always.
Thank you, brother.
Talk to you soon.